Morning, we're back. This is part 2 of the amazing Japanese novelty candy haul. Now, this could end up being the haul of the entire year. It's been just an amazing start. I couldn't even get through it last time, and I decided to tape it up so I didn't go through it myself because it's been so fun. But here are the things from, I guess it was last week when we saw just a bunch of stuff came in. And so we're going to get in here and see what else is in the box. All right. Let's get this baby cracked back open. It's just so pleasurable to open any box that contains collectibles. All right. I'm going to pull out, there's 2 bags in here. Well, actually, there's this. Let's look at this real quick. Here we have a novelty grabber. Old people use these to, hold on, let's see if I can get this thing to, oh, is it locked? Might be locked. Safety's on. But anyway, this is a grabber that, old folks use to get stuff off the top shelf, for example. But it's made into a kid's novelty. Keep in mind the things that we see today. And I said this in the first stream, but these were made for Japanese elementary school children for the most part. A few might be leaning, the target audience might be teenagers and whatnot, but or like Disney fans of all ages. But pretty much it's just for young children. And imagine being a child again. I think we all can get there in our heads. This would be pretty damn fun. I notice it has suction cups on the end. That's a strange little function there. My question is, if I do use this, let's see, I can't use it, but if I did stick this on an object, how would I unstick it without some difficulty? Anyway, let's pull out this bag, and there's one more under it, okay? Man, this thing is packed. I'm going to set you down and get you situated, and we're going to unpack this thing. The visual noise of this, I know it's perhaps anxiety-inducing, also just confusing in general, but give me a second. We're going to organize this and find some treasure, okay? Okay. Wow. Okay, so the first one out of the gate is a beer stein. Could be soda, could be cola. Remember, I still haven't figured out how cola and soda is different. By the way, the official drink of the Garbage Archive is certainly Canada Dry. I've been on a Canada Dry thing for 3 years. It's all I drink. That and coffee and water. But yeah, anyway, yeah. This is exactly what I'm always looking for, guys. The size of this candy container, this stein, is perfect, or close enough to the old stuff. I can't say I've seen anything that resembles 80s novelty candy as much as this fucking thing. Plus it's monochromatic, and it looks like it has some Vicodin or something in there. Okay, next up, this bag has a ton of like little small things. I'm going to kind of set it up, or set some of this up real quick, and then we'll look at it. I'm grabbing little boxes. Yeah, let's put this to the side, this bag, for a minute, and just kind of look at this real quick. All right, so I pulled out these novelty little mini candy boxes, snack size boxes we call them. I usually call them in novelty candy snack size. Very cool. I've seen this character many times. Might be a Sanrio character. Not sure. These little guys. Yeah, when you're looking at novelty candy like on the internet, you can find some of it, and get it shipped to you. Some of it's in the United States, like at import stores and stuff. But when it comes to these little tiny things like this, you'd be surprised how obscure they are. This little stuff you'd find in a Japanese gas station. I just really appreciate stuff like this, because I know there's no way in hell I'd ever have access to it unless someone sent it to me. If that makes any sense. But yeah, they have little characters on them. I was gushing over Japanese candy mascots last week. You know, that's a thing. I mean, in Japan, that's a thing. Or just in Asian, you know, Korea cultures, they love their cute mascots, don't they? And boy, they're so good at it. All right, bag is back out. Okay, I'm going to make a pretty big move here, and I'm going to actually empty this whole thing out. Ooh, boy, I see something on the bottom that I know. In fact, I see one I already have. That's interesting. We'll see if that's a new variant or not. We'll wait a minute. And don't forget, there's another bag. Okay, first thing is some butt beads, anal beads. No, just kidding. No, it looks like a little... Wow, this is plastic. Wow. Wow, look at that. I mean, this is... If you want to know what I'm always after is, of course, the plastic things. That's why I go... And, you know... in the perfect boxes and stuff. That's exactly what I collect. This stuff too, it's just kind of secondary. Amazing. Look, a mad scientist character. Man, we've, you know, growing up in the 80s, we know all about the mad scientist types of characters. And here we have a new one. Great mascots. Look at the work that went into this thing. Okay, let's look at this one. Has a you know, chameleon or whatever that is mascot. Can't say I've ever seen a candy package with a mascot from that species. It might not be a chameleon. Next up, this one's really fun. It has little wafers in it or whatever. It's implying that they're fizzy. I can't read any of this. The packs are almost like condoms. It's a 3-pack. Again, something you would get out of a Japanese, you know, gas station. So cool though. This thing's amazing. Here we have another one of these. Different. It's a color swap and flavor swap, obviously, probably. Very cool. And this one, he has a microphone glass. Okay, this one is a color swap of this piece. I saw this one. Beautiful colors. Love that mascot. And he changes throughout. He's different on each one. Wow. Yeah, you don't typically see that in American candies. We're just far lazier and far overconfident with our, you know, consumers, that they'll just buy whatever we put out, and then they do. But I love they took the extra step of just changing that character slightly throughout. That's beautiful. I'm happy to save stuff like this for the rest of my life. Okay, next up, definitely has some, you know, Pokemon influences there. I don't know all the different ones, but man, that is something to behold. Look at that. That could work as a movie poster, or it could be all kinds of advertising. That's beautiful. This is something, I think we saw this last week or somewhere. Man, I've seen this before. Anyway, very cool. It's a... I'm looking while I'm talking. Man, I saw this somewhere. But yeah, this time it's a Coke can exploding. It's a lollipop that you dip. In the UK, they call them dippers. They're called by different names. Beautiful. Here's another one from that series. Now it's maybe a sparkling water of some sort, something clear. I don't know. Beautiful. Yeah, damn. Where's the other one? We saw the other one somewhere. Okay. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay, but this is in... What is this? Oh, this is from the last time we went to Japan. Okay, Okay, let's look at this real quick. Okay, so this one's from a year ago, and this is the new one. Okay, they're both by the Pine Company. I've never heard of them, to be honest. These are probably part of the same novelty cycle, so they're probably not. They probably haven't changed them yet. But if you go down into the timestamp, they're obviously different. They were made at different times. But yeah, this is from the same novelty cycle, they call it. And so basically you're looking at the pack from the same candy run, basically. The same wave, if that makes any sense. I do want to put this guy back where he goes. Okay. Okay. The next up are these really badass looking things. We've got maybe a warlock or a witch. I want to call that a male character for some reason. Look at that writing. It's really something. And then we have this one too. That writing is killing me. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful looking stuff. Yeah, the maybe some sort of licorice, something like that. Next up is this really oddball piece here. We have a couple who obviously are in some sort of relationship. They look very similar, almost brother and sister. But yeah, they definitely know each other there. Not sure what that could be in there. It's small little pellets. It's little pellets. It's like that. It's like that. That's what it feels like. But no telling what... Oh, I'm sorry. It shows them. No, it's more like pills. It's like those little jelly things. That's really neat. In America, we would have made the characters more like cartoonish, I think, in this respect, especially like almost racially cartoonish. Like these are probably, is it obvious that they're Asian? But I'm just saying, like, had we made this over here, the artist might have kind of slipped in some jabs, if that makes sense. Okay, this fell out. This was a mistake. It should have been over here. Notice, by the way, these are different colors. Okay. Oh, these packs here. Mickey Mouse, or Mickey and Friends. Pretty nice. Really nice. Mickey's a detective, and Minnie's just how she is. This is a damn bulky thing, man, by the way. I would call this kind of a regular size, what you'd find normally, but compared to this, look at the size difference. Yeah, this you're buying some candy here for sure. That's pretty nice. Okay, this reminds me of a Pez refill thing, but it's way better. It was slightly opened. Yeah, it has tabs almost like a Pez. I'm not really sure if this goes in something or what. It's really pretty though. Then we have these Pop Rocks packs, Japanese Pop Rocks packs. I am a sucker for Pop Rocks. I collect the fuck out of them. And here we have a new series by Atreon, I guess you would call that. Maybe Atreon. Yeah, beautiful. I've never seen these. First up, we have cola, grape. This is probably soda. Okay, Japan. What are we doing? What's that then? Soda part 2. Beautiful. Okay, for some reason I'm trying to get to this real quick. So, guys, listen, I bought this about 7 years ago. 5 to 7 years ago. And it's in here. I think it's that. Give me 1 second. We're going to compare this. Now, the reason I went out of the way years ago to buy it is because it's taboo. It's beer-flavored candy. This is everything I could ever ask for, and more. Notice the kid has a mean expression on his face, which adds to it. This is candy with bad intentions. Okay, so our friend Travis sent this one that he just picked up, and here's the one from, I want to say this thing was about 7 years ago. So let's compare them. Right now I'm not seeing much difference at all. It even has some line, a line of wording right here on the back. On the back, this one says 2018. How long ago? Let's see. Oh, that was 6 or 7 years ago. But this one has the new one. You're getting to see the shelf life, by the way. So they're saying that this product is good for about a year. Yeah, no different. Very cool, except the timestamp. So this is definitely not part of the novelty run. This is too spread apart. It's just they decided to print more. Basically, what it is. They decided to continue it as it was. But thank you. That's really cool. Good to know. Yeah, beer candy. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to slide this back, and we've got one more bag here. I see a compass. Okay, I'm going to actually do this right now. Okay, let's put this back. So, how would you guys store something like this, or archive something like this, or display something like this? What we're seeing is stuff that's beautiful. I mean, especially this Japanese products are just beautiful. The struggle is real, man. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, guys, let's get in here. This is going to be it. There is something rolling around the bottom of the box that I better hang on to. Very common for that to happen when you buy lots of candy or whatever. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. This is the last bag. Okay, first things up. I want to kind of move this to a dead space because I know it's visually confusing to look at these individually. Okay, let's try this. How's that? And I'm going to set you down. Okay. Okay. Next up is a pacifier. We have a baby who's not obviously Asian, but it is sort of an anime character, anime style character, which is nice. And we're seeing the full character, which you don't usually see in baby mascots on candy. It's usually the head, but that's really neat. The product is fully visible, and I like what I see. I'll tell you one thing right now. It is very rare for the pacifier, the candy, to look like the identical vinyl nipple. I said it, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm honest though. Think about Ring Pop, for example. It's never the actual real life color of a, what color is that? It's like a what I imagine vanilla to taste like, but it's like it's like that Vaseline color, whatever that color is. What I'm saying is this thing looks realistic, and I've never actually seen that done before. God, I appreciate that so much. That is exactly what I'm always trying to push for, is just make things look real and then make the packages edgy, and you have something on your hands. God, I love this more and more as I look at it. That's really kind of a sleeper hit, man. A realistic candy pacifier. Wow. God, I want to get there so quickly. But that's going to be the finale. Let's go ahead and grab these. Move it to kind of a blank space so we can focus on them. Yeah, we're dealing with a new mascot here. Obviously a dog. Everyone loves dogs. So it's always going to be a hit when you use a dog mascot, especially for children or anyone. He's really super cute right here, though. Look at that. So cute. So it's Boda Dog or Bob Dog. I'm sorry, Bob Dog. I don't know what's in here, but, well, it shows you. Okay, it's candy cigarettes. That's that's kind of crazy, though, you know. So to buy my candy cigarettes, I'm being treated with a pretty cute graphic of dogs that are just beside themselves by eating this product. That's very cute. Wow. You know, this box size, by the way, is universal for candy cigarettes. Oh, there's look, there's more. Yeah, but throughout, I want to say like the 1960s, what I always think of with in the UK, for example, with their sweet sticks. This is the standard size. I don't know if that's something in the industry people just know instinctively or whatever. Well, I guess the candy cigarettes are some sort of bulk generic made candy or something, and so it's natural to pick this size box or whatever it is. It's just kind of funny. We've always had the same size box. So cool. Let's go ahead and get to these candy cigarettes, though. Now, these are really blatantly candy cigarettes, which is something I really respect, and it's something that's always been very controversial. You're looking at something that probably mimics or could be mistaken for actual cigarettes. Now, the box is kind of small. I noticed this piece is apparently the best one. It has an extra, it has a header on it. And it's not a hanger, it's just an extra piece of advertising. And it's quite elegant. Reminds me of maybe an antique, another. I don't know if this is a mistake and this should have been down here, but it's not sticky. So no, it was meant to be like that. So that's really interesting. It's just like an extra sign like, hey, buy me. But yeah, this is Orion's candy cigarettes. Now, they're implying that these could be hollow, so these could have some sort of candy powder in them. That's interesting. These, I was about to say I could open one, but no, it's actually has a, yeah, this is actually, it's been gum sealed right here. But yeah, very cool. This is part of a long tradition of candy cigarettes in boxes that look like real cigarettes, if that makes any sense. Very cool. All right. Okay, this thing is just begging to be touched. That's what she said. Okay, this is a candy compass. Okay, have we ever had a candy compass? We have. We've had a candy compass, everyone, but it was a party favor candy. Think Oriental Trading Company style. There's never been a novelty candy, special release or whatever, like an actual release of this form. So that's really cool. I'm a little surprised they use this because I think compasses, what is happening? Y'all seeing that? Okay, guys, we're in the middle of a portal here. That's bizarre, dude. Why is that spinning like that out of control? Okay, anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, compasses, I don't think that's something that's very relevant or whatever. But it's interesting they chose that. Maybe there's an anime or a cartoon that has a character with compasses that they're trying to tap into here. I noticed there is graphics on it, and it happens to be one of the Zodiacs. This is a pretty fucked up piece. I love this thing. Now, this is more in line with these little guys here, and this guy here. And this is your classic plastic, that's a weird thing to say, novelty candy, more of what we're used to from our childhood. We're going to have to look at this later. By we, I mean me. This is very breakable, by the way. Okay. That's something, man, actually. And it's doing it again. All right, next up. I want to grab these two out. Okay, that's upside down. God, for a second I thought this was someone's eyes bleeding out. Like a cat with his eyes bleeding out, but I think it's upside down. Okay, we have these really beautiful candy sticks, something along those lines. It's a roll that probably has some fondant and that. Very, very nice. You know, I just don't know anything about them. And on first glance, I'm just kind of, I don't really know what to say. Okay, this one shows, yeah, it's kind of that ropes. I think we call them ropes nowadays. The Wonka company, or Nestle company rather, still makes that type of candy. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, there is still something, even like this, there's still something about that character. Good Lord. What is going on? Something maybe they'd pass out at a rave or something. Is there drugs in here? That's really, really neat. Okay, I'm going to set you down. I'm going to pull out these little small packs here. I'm going to have to clear this bag out of here. Running out of room. If you're just joining me, this is the part 2 of an amazing novelty candy care package haul from Japan. Okay, so here we have a series of singles. They all have this mascot. This one looks like he's shooting you a bird, but I know that's not what it is. Oh, he's holding his eyelid down. That's what he's doing, and he's kind of mugging at you. Huh. God, I wonder where that comes from. Here's the black one here. Not sure what flavor that could be. Besides, licorice. Man, that's pretty cool. We're looking at these mascots from cartoons that we'll probably never see over here or think to watch or think to even look up. But to some of these children, I imagine they know exactly what these characters are and they're trying to advertise to these children. That's good, man. All right. I have the bag over here. I'm just going to reach over. Okay, so next up, this is a unique unit that doesn't have another one with it. God, I wish I knew what was in here. So it's telling you, I guess, to pour them out. There's going to be 3 different flavors, maybe some sort of jelly or liquid. You pour them out, maybe stir them up, and then it makes the flavor of grape. So I think the concept, I'm just guessing here, is that these 3 make a grape flavored. So somehow the strawberry flavor, if mixed with soda and whatever, I want to say that's a lemon, but there's green in it, make a grape flavored. So it's kind of like a magic trick, which might explain why this little ghost character is mysterious. Yeah, I think this is probably some sort of mystery mix like a magic sort of DIY kit. That's cool. You know, the Japanese, the confectioners in Japan, they're the ones that invented the DIY kits. They started a whole genre of candy, novelty candy, and basically what you do is you buy one of their kits. So this is a kit that has a play function. So they're telling kids that you don't go ahead, like you don't eat this right when you open it. You're supposed to get a tray. Oh, it has a tray in it. I'm sorry. It comes with a tray. You pour out the 3 flavors. You mix it up. There must be a stirrer in there. And it makes a new flavor. But this whole genre came from Japan around about the late 90s. And we're still going through what's called the DIY novelty candy era. But it is mostly in Asian markets. Okay, still want to save these for the end. Let's pull out these boxes. They're just as good. So we have some novelty candy boxes. These two have sort of a play function. Let's get these set up. We're almost done, everyone. I mean, this one just obviously is the good one. All right. Yeah, so this is a concept that dates back to 1975 with, God, I could reach them. Actually, give me a second. I'm going to reach over here. I don't want everyone to see all this mess and shit. Anyway, I'll try to talk while I'm looking for these. So anyway, this has a play function where you lift this tag and it changes his expression. And this was a concept that's been around a little while. Hold on, guys. I can get to this real quick. I found it. All right. All right. I might be wrong with that date. Let's see. Troglodytes. You guys remember these from the 70s? What you do, it used to have some chocolate in it. Wait now, how does this work? This one might be fucked up. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me back up. Damn. Okay, so anyway, this is from the 1970s. This is something we had over here. And if you push it down, it reveals a magic rabbit. And this was a big series, and there are people out there that collect these. These aren't sealed, but you can find them sealed. They're pretty damn rare, and there's some amazing graphics on these. Sorry, I don't want to steal from this. This is even better. But I just want to let you know that this is a genre that has been around a little while. Damn, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I have some from, I think the 1950s like this. So anyway, very cool. So again, these are face changers. They go by different names, but it actually, literally, you pull this up, the kid would pull this up, and it changes the face. Oh, it tells you what happens. The different combos. Now, this one's advertising the robot. But I don't think the robot's in this package, so that's a little weird. I guess it's just teasing them to, buy more. But yeah, but over here, you can see all the different faces you can make of the vampire. Okay. Next one is the robot. Classic. What kid hasn't tried to make a robot or had a fantasy about making a robot that probably looked a lot like this? Okay. Next up is a nutcracker. Pretty sure. Odd choice. Odd choice. Not sure why he's in there. Maybe this is the Christmas edition. This guy here, maybe a sumo wrestler, I would think. Actually, this one's pretty special. Yeah, this one's special. I mean, you have a nude man on it. You know, mostly nude man. You know, so I'm after taboo stuff. That's what I'm always after. But you know, candy can get it kind of get they make cringe candy that you can find in like Spencer Goods, but that stuff's not mass produced. This is mass produced. So this is what I'm really after. If there's something mass produced and there's a man without a shirt on, even though that's not, you know, it's PG, but still, that shit, you know, I'm after that. If they make a beer flavored candy and advertise that to children, this is everything that I'm after. Anyway, the next one is this one. Beautiful. No, I can't tell you what this is. I've seen it. I want to say a mask. Beautiful. I mean, it's just something you think of, like when you think of Japan or just, I don't know, those areas over there. It's just something that's kind of iconic. So it's really nice to see on a children's candy container. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, we're down to the last little bit. Speaking of taboo, yeah, heroin syringes are something I'm always after. The first one was put out in 1969 by the Alberts Company. It's called Hippie Sippy. And since 1969, we've seen about 5-ish iterations of the syringe candy that was put out to the masses now. Now, let me tell you, before we look at these, around Halloween, if you go into a place like Hot Topic, yes, I still hunt in those areas, in the stores like that, you can find generic candy syringes, but that's kind of what I was trying to say before, like with, they do make really cringy candies that are kind of for adults. I don't count any of that. I don't collect that shit. But this is a mass-produced item that was in reach of children. That's, you know, if there's something that was on the market, yeah, that's awesome, dude. You know, kids could play nurse, you know, play doctor or whatever. You know, they could play, I need a serum or some, all kinds of shit. But yeah, this is beautiful. I love how the syringe is squirting here. And there's a little duck right here. Why? Well, I guess they're trying to tell kids, hey, you can fill this up with water when you're done. Maybe your bath water. Oh, that's what it is. That's a rubber ducky in a bathtub. Yeah, kids, when you're done sucking this shit out, you can fill it up with your tub water while you're in there and squirt it on your brother. I don't know. Yeah, here we have a couple of monkeys. They're sharing needles. They're sharing needles. Okay. Now I know why Travis put this in the bottom of the box. We have two monkeys sharing needles. They're sticking the ends, you know, in their mouth. Oh, you can't write this any better. Come on, these people, they had a sense of humor, right? Come on. They knew this is. They were pushing it here. Hey, bro. Hey, bro, you want a needle? And I reckon this is fucking soda. I've got to get to the bottom of that. Yeah, I love the air bubbles. Oh, this is great. Here's the red one, which mimics blood, right? Like, and I'll tell you, from being a art teacher for 22 years, having red paint, red ink, red whatever on the table for children to use, blood always comes up. Because when we see blood liquid or blood color, when it's a certain red, it's just a human thing. We think blood immediately. It's just part of life. Some of us even start to sweat. Heart rate goes up a little bit because it's part of life. It sets off an alarm in your mind. And so to see a candy syringe filled with a red liquid, come on, we know what they were doing here. You're not fooling anyone. And this needle is injecting the logo. And again, we have two monkeys sharing needles. Okay, what's up with the bananas, though? I mean, they're kind of holding bananas like needles. This is a problematic little mascot. But, you know, they did it to themselves. Obviously, if you have a syringe, which, by the way, I haven't said this yet. This thing is the actual length. This is a real syringe. That's what they did. They bought generic syringes from a medical supply company. That's what they did. That's a rubber, O-ring. I don't know what they call it. Fucking seal. This is a real syringe. It's just missing, the needle. Man, I'm glad I'm in a good headspace this morning because something like this would have completely shut me down. This is truly special. I'm going to do a quick review. We're not going to look at all this. You'll have to go back and look at the streams, but I just want to pick out a few highlights. Okay. First up, this still might be my favorite. This amazing. God. See, I can't even talk. This is just, I'm so glad this thing exists. It's a disposable candy box. Disposable camera candy box. Okay. These, okay. See, now I'm getting weird. I'm getting a little weird. Take a little drink here. Okay, but yeah, these are amazing. This compass is such a weird thing. I think really needs to be looked at closer. Yeah. These classic, really classic plastic candy containers. I'm just so happy things like this are still out there because they're not like this in the States anymore. You can't find plastic candy containers anymore. I think the last one we've had was an Angry Birds about 2012. It was a head of an Angry Bird. Or maybe that was the whole body, actually. That's how rare they are. And then this one's plastic, too. Now that I look at it, I know what this is. These are oranges that are in that netting that you can still get like with cuties and stuff. Oh, I love it even more now. Yeah, see, I'll go over this a million times when I'm alone, and there's so much I've missed, I'm sure. That's so. These are 4 oranges, but yeah, they're fused together. That's hollow all the way through. That is really neat. God, I bet this is popular actually. Yeah, that's an orange. Okay. Well, I love all this, obviously. I was just trying to pick out a few things. Yeah. Well, guys, I'll let you go. Thank you again to Mr. Travis for this gift. This amazing gift. This is unreal. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not to be trusted around these. This brings out the fucking little kid that's trapped in my body. By the way, if you didn't know, let me sit you down. This is the last thing. If you buy, the kids over there, when they buy them, this thing comes off, the top comes off. This is actually the cap. But, and you can take these cartridges or canisters or whatever, and they attach, and you can literally make your own bullet train. And so they're really, really cool. Another thing I was looking at last couple of nights ago is it shows you the different variants on there. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. And thank you again to my friend who sent it over all the way from Japan. Yeah, I cut that out. I keep all those. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I did buy a new another lot of candy. This is vintage that we'll look at. Nothing too crazy, but there's some definitely going to be worth watching. But hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Russ fan.